Hello and welcome to the SprayChart 102 manual video. Today we will be discussing all of the features of the SprayChart app along with how easy it is to create, use, and manage spray charts. Here we have an example spray chart of a fictional player named Player 1 of example Team 1. As you can see, this hitter tends to hit the ball to the left side of the field. What you can do with this information is move your fielders accordingly so that you can take away this player's hits and ultimately get more outs. You can also change the way you pitch to a player based upon how they hit the ball, ultimately getting more outs also. So this app is all about gaining the edge on defense, because winning and losing so often comes down to a few key plays, especially in baseball. This app can make all the difference. Now this looks complicated, but it's actually very easy to create spray charts. We have two balls down here. One is a red ball and one is a green ball. One represents fly balls and one represents ground balls. To place an indicator, all you do is grab it, drag, and release wherever the ball is hit. If a ball is hit to the shortstop, you can go ahead and click on ground ball, drag it, release on wherever the ball is fielded. If it's a hit up the middle, another ground ball, go ahead and grab a ground ball and put it up the middle. It's that easy. All you do is click, drag, and drop, and you can create spray charts in seconds. Now let's move on to creating teams and players. In the top left here we have two buttons that we need to be aware of. One is the team button and one is the player button, as represented by the letters T and P. Go ahead and press the T button, click in the top box, and go ahead and enter in whatever team information you need. It will automatically create the team. As you can see, we now have no player selected, but we have example Team 3 selected. Now let's create a player. Now before you create a player, you have to have the correct team selected, otherwise you will have a player playing for the wrong team. Right now we have team number 3, which is what we want, so I'm going to go ahead and click the box and enter in some player information. Again, it automatically creates. Next, I'm going to create a full lineup to show off a few features. This will only take one moment. Okay, now I have created a lineup with exactly 9 players in it. As you can see, if I scroll down a bit, it goes example player 1 through example player 9. Right now we have example player 9 selected. Let's give it some arbitrary information, just so we can tell that this is player 9. In order to go back to the beginning of the lineup, all you do is simply hit next player. And let's give it some arbitrary information just to know that we're on the right track. If we cycle through the lineup by hitting next player, we can see that it goes through the lineup up until player 9, which you can see has the same indicators. If we go to player 1, we have the opposite indicators. So ultimately the next player button allows you to switch between players instantly, and it takes seconds to place indicators. The next thing I'd like to discuss is if you make a mistake. For example, if you put a ground ball way in the outfield, which is pretty impossible, you can fix it. If it was a ground ball, all you do is grab and move it to wherever the actual ball is hit. And if you want to delete it completely, all you do is drag it to the trash can. And if you want to delete multiple indicators at the same time, simply grab the eraser, and whatever the eraser touches, those indicators are gone. Lastly, you can customize the color of the field, the balls, and you can customize the ball size and shape, which I'll show. Let's add some indicators to the field just for example purposes. You can see that as I adjust the size slider that they increase in size and decrease in size accordingly. You can add a background glow to these indicators, or you can change the shape of these indicators altogether and have X's and O's. If you don't like the color, for example, this indicator of a ground ball is a little hard to see. What you can do is change the color by pressing either the B1 or B2 buttons. B1 stands for ball 1, so I'm going to change this to blue. And you can see that's a lot easier to see. And I'm going to change the red to yellow just for indicator purposes. Let's change the background to gray. Again, you can customize the field to whatever color you want. Well, I think that's all I've got, so thanks for watching. I wish you the best of luck in your baseball and softball seasons.